Hi guys, thanks for tuning into the Scan Tool Network video. In this video, it's just a request that a few of you guys have asked for. It's a comparison between the the main two X-Tool tools. So this is the X-Tool D7, which you can see has a bit of a smaller screen, and this is the X-Tool D8. Now there are a few differences between the two units, and I'll run through those in this video, and hopefully by the end of this video you'll have a better idea about which of these tools is going to be more suitable or better for your specific needs. A quick note on where to buy these tools. If you are interested, then please use the link in the description below this video. There are fakes, there are clones on the market, and they can damage your vehicle, so it's not worth going down that route. Use the links in the description below this video, and that will guarantee that you do get a genuine and official product. Okay? So on the subject of buying these tools, we'll talk about the prices first of all. So the price of this one, the D7, is currently £469, and the price of the D8 is, it kind of fluctuates between $699 and $649. So it's kind of like a £50 difference. I guess it depends on whether they've got a promotion on or not. But generally look at about $470 and about $700 for the prices of these tools. And who are these tools aimed at? I would say probably they should both attract the same crowd. So anybody who works in sort of like a garage environment, like whether it be a home DIY, so like a mobile mechanic, or a garage, small garage or workshop, where they just don't necessarily know what vehicles they'll be looking at on a day-to-day basis. But even if you're not in that sort of circumstance, if you are like a home DIY and you've got a few cars to look after, or you want to make sure that your future cars are looked after, or your friends or relatives' vehicles are all in good shape, then there's no reason why you couldn't pick up one of these tools and use these on those vehicles. They're both very hard wearing tools. This one kind of has like protectors on the corners here. This one has the protection all the way down the sides, and a bit on the bottom and top as well, so it just adds a bit more protection on this unit here because it is just that little bit of a bigger screen. I'll talk about the screen sizes in a moment, but ultimately if you were to drop any of these on the floor, they'll be fine. It's just make sure you don't drop anything pointy or sharp on the screens, obviously, because then you will have a bit of an issue. So when it comes to manufacturer coverage, they will both cover the same manufacturers. This tool, I should mention, is plugged into the diagnostic port of this vehicle. They both have internal batteries, but this one is currently taking its power from the battery from the vehicle because it's actually plugged in. So when it comes to what we're looking for, manufacturer coverage. So we can click on to diagnosis, and you can either click on you see the options at the top here. You've got like European, America, and Asia. So these are the European, and I think you'll find that they should be exactly the same on both. And then we go to Asia, that one, Asia on that one, and then America. So there's America on the D7, America on the D8, and then China for anybody lucky enough to own a Chinese vehicle. Just trying to see if there's any. It looks like there might be a few extra vehicles on this one, actually, the D8. But go back through the video if you want to double check that, if there are any differences between the European, the Asians, and the Americans. So when it comes to the system coverage, what you'll find is both of these tools will cover all systems within both vehicles. So as an example, I'm just going to click onto Porsche here because this is what we're hooked up to. Click manual selection, it's a Porsche Macan, and we'll go system selection, and these are the systems that it will allow us to diagnose. So it recognizes which vehicle we're in, and it says, right, these are the systems that are installed to or potentially installed to the vehicle, so this is what you can potentially diagnose. If I was to have selected, say, like a BMW, and I was connected to a BMW, you might get a completely different list of systems. Generally you get the same kind of systems, but there might be more systems, say in a BMW or Audi, or less even. It all really depends on the system that the vehicle that it's hooked up to. But in essence, it will cover all systems within any vehicle that it's hooked up to. Okay, it's not wireless. They do both require a cable, so a cable is exactly the same, runs from the top of the unit into the diagnostic port of the vehicle. Okay, and when it comes to special functions, that is where the D8 has a bit more about it. So we'll go into the special functions of both of these tools, and let me have a look. So this one here has 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26. This one has 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, it's interesting that, because the official information about this tool does state that this has 31 special functions and this has 26, so it's interesting to see why there's only 27 showing up on here. But there we go, these are the special functions. So the main ones you're looking at, like oil reset, throttle calibration, electronic parking brake, steering angle sensor, injector coding, DPF regeneration, gearbox matching, TPMS gear learning, as I say, suspension calibration, ECU. I think it might be in ECU configurations actually, where the additional sort of service and special functionality comes from, because I've got a sheet here which tells me that the D8 here will also do a lot of coding capability, various special functions like engine speed control, fuel trim reset, fuel trim enable, cylinder power balance, fuel injector balance, crankshaft sensors relearning, idle learn reset, VGT turbo calibration, 0-point calibration, ABS initialization, etc. So I suspect it's going to be within the configurations. So you do pay a bit more, and that it's probably because you do get more special and service functions within this tool. When it comes to live data, you can get live data from both of these. You go diagnosis, Porsche, we've got manual section, go back to our vehicle, automatic, system selection, the engine. So this is from where you can actually do the live data. So we go to live data, and then we can go to, let's say we wanted to see live data in DPF. It's giving us different types. You can record the data. I suspect you can see it in graphing, kind of like graphing data as well. You can combine. So you can see graphing data. Both of these tools will do this, by the way. Or you can display all again. So it gives you live data on different sections, and not just like the engine, but it'll give you live data on things like ABS sensors. Read ECU, so we'll go to live data, and there we go. So we can get like the sensors live data as it loads up. So there's a lot of live data there to be had on all different kinds of systems. They're both bi-directional. You can do component testing on both of these tools, which is a really good option. Now, when it comes to the updates, there's a little difference. So both of these tools, in fact, will give you free updates for 3 years. So you get 3 years free update. After that, there is an update yearly charge. So for the D7 tool, the update is about £75 per year. For the D8 tool, the update is about £150 per year. Okay, but remember, you do get 3 years free updates, which is pretty good. When it comes to help and support, you do need to contact the seller or contact Xtool directly. And I've found that when I've been stuck on something, I've found that the support is generally quite good. They will work really hard for you to sort of maybe resolve a problem or resolve an issue or get an answer for you should you need it. So it's a really good little thing. When it comes to can you print things, you can, if you go to report, you go to diagnosis report, and let's say you have, well, actually, this is the diagnosis report that you can get on both of them. You can see where it says like company, address information, things like that. You populate that. I'll come back to this in a second. You populate that by, is it going into setting? Workshop information. So you would put in here like scan tool network, or the address and the telephone number, etc. So then it'll show up. That information will show up on these reports. Yeah, okay. But then it gives you the information that has just been like read from the tool on the live report. So on the PDF report, and you've got the live data here, live data there. And if you go into, maybe go into a different one, like a previous one, where we did a trouble code check. So we did a check on a mass airflow sensor, and that is the fault code that I was giving. So you know, it gives you lots of information about what specifically the dealership has done, or the garage has done, and then you can share it to an email address, or you can print it and give it to the customer, or have it printed out for your own needs, so your own service records, etc. Screen sizes. This one has a 7-inch screen. This one has a 9-inch screen. Both of these are absolutely fine, in fact. Obviously, this just does look a little bit better because it is a little bit bigger, but in essence, you can still get everything you need out of this smaller screen here. So I certainly wouldn't let the smaller screen put you off. Languages, yeah, it both has multiple languages, as you can see. That's in the settings option. Both bi-directional, as I mentioned earlier, and in fact let's just have a quick look and see if we can do some of that. Bi-directional, or like component testing, system selection. So rear right, passenger's door, let's say, for example, actuation test. And both tools will do this, remember. Let's say now lower power windows. So what we want to do is lower the window. I know you won't pick it up on camera, but we're just going to check to see if it does. You might hear it. There we go. You probably heard that go down there. So it is down. And then you can go back and you can raise power window, start, next, and it should go up, and there it's just gone up. So that is just it allows you to test the motors and test certain components within the vehicle to make sure that they are working, and what that'll allow you to do is rule in or rule out certain other problems within a certain area of the vehicle. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I haven't covered. What about all the other? I mean, that's self-explanatory. It automatically does an automatic scan of the vehicle. So I'm just going to check to see how this works. In fact, we'll go automatic scan. Automatic scan. All right, okay. So it's going to scan the full vehicle for any faults, which is a really good option. If you're not exactly sure where the fault is in the vehicle, or you just want to check the general health of the vehicle, then it's a really good way of checking. So we can see here we've got instrument cluster, we've got a failure, and it's got 2 faults there. Gateway, 3 faults. I think probably with most modern vehicles, it's impossible to go find a vehicle that has just no faults at all, because there are so many little electronic systems in these vehicles, so many ECUs and so many components to these systems that something will always go wrong unless it's a brand new car. So don't be worried in case you're using one of these tools to go and check out a car and you see like a fault in a gateway, or like a fault in a memory setting or something like that, because it is going to happen. Which of these tools would I recommend? It's very difficult to say, in fact, because my specific needs would be different to yours maybe. If I was, if put it this way, if I was looking for a tool for just my own vehicles and my own personal use in and around my garage, my own cars, friends, family's cars, or maybe I was like a mobile mechanic or something like that, then yeah, I would say probably this one is the better one to go for. But if you do have a much sort of wider audience, and that you've got like a lot of different cars coming in on a day-to-day basis, and you want to get ultimately the best tool that your garage can within the certain budget, then I would say go for this one, because it is going to offer you just that little bit more. And as I say, you never know what you're going to come up against. This looks like it's finished everything, in fact. So if we go to DTC report, it's telling us the faults which it's recognized, and you can go into them in a little bit more detail. So you go diagnose, read trouble code, and it's doing wonderful things in German at the moment. Clear trouble code. Sometimes you can clear them if you read it. There we go. So those ones were like tiny little faults which you can clear off without needing to do anything. In fact, that's what we've been able to do there. Anyway, that is the difference between the Xtool D7 and D8. I hope you found it useful, and I hope you found it helpful going forward, and hopefully you now know which of these tools to choose for your needs, if any. I would say actually one thing more to add is that if you weren't happy with any of these tools, I would say that there's another tool you can look at which gives you very similar functionality, and it is the iCarsoft CR Max. I'll put a link to that kit in the description. Also check this channel as well, because there will be there are videos on that kit on this channel as well. So at some point I will try and do like comparisons between, in fact I've already done a comparison between this and the CR Max. We need to do one on between this and the CR Max as well, but I might not get the time to do that soon, but I will try. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.